Welcome to another video. If you don't know already, my name's Shelby and this is Happiness by the Mile. But today, I first want to start off by apologizing to everybody that's been worried about where I am, because I've been just super overwhelmed with everything on my plate lately as far as getting this new company going, and then of course all the messages from everybody has really made it hard to get back to people. So today I'm making a video on the 2021 Freightliner Cascadia. I'm sure as you've seen from the intro, and there have been a lot of videos on YouTube lately about the 2021 Freightliner Cascadia, but none of them have seemed to hit the points that are really cool about it and the things that are different about the 2021 and not its predecessors. Because we've already seen the new body style, we already know what the inside looks like, we already know most of the features that come on the newer Cascadias, but the 2021 has some things on it that are brand new to the whole lineup. And I am freezing right now because it is cold outside and it is windy, and so I'm gonna hurry through the outside so we can get inside the cab and talk more about that. But one more thing, I've gotten a lot of messages lately about the company and everything, and this is not a recruiting channel. So if you want to know more about that and the positions I have open currently, all that's going to be in the description for the video. So let me show you some stuff. Okay, first things first, I don't even know what these things are called, but they're little guards up here near the windshield, and what they do is they help deflect when you use your wipers. Good gracious, when you use your wipers, it helps deflect the runoff. It gets all over the side of your window and on your mirror, and then it makes it hard to see and you constantly have to clean them. That little thing is supposed to help deflect the fluid so that way you can see for a lot longer. Anyways, so that's that. Moving on. Alright, now there's nothing new back here, so to say, but these are just some things that I've done to these trucks because I told you that I was ordering trucks specifically for my company and what it does. And so the first thing I want to point out is both of my tanks are rear fueled, just like I talked about before. I ordered them with the fuel fill in the back. Oh my gosh, it's much warmer here because it's out of the wind. The fuel fill in the back, and they're both 120 gallons, so that's really nice. Second thing is I got a larger deck plate on these because when it comes to hooking up the doubles or any of our trailers, mostly we have our fifth wheel all the way back because the trailers aren't built for 2-axle trucks on the rear. Because our fifth wheel is all the way back so we don't run into the landing gear, it makes it, we have all this space to where you hook up your airlines. And so in order to safely hook up your airlines, some people need to climb up onto the frame of the truck, and so I don't want anybody slipping off the frame and like falling into the drive shaft. So I got a larger deck plate up top. And then steps, of course, to help you get up onto it. So also I got a Fontaine fifth wheel with my trucks because they're easier to pull than the Jost fifth wheels when it comes to winter conditions. And I've explained that before. The Jost is where you go up, over, to the left, out, and to the left. So it's it's a lot of movement when it's really not necessary, when you can just pull it out and you're good to go. Other than that, the only difference that we make to our FedEx spec trucks is these type of mud flap holders, or mud flat frames, I don't know what they're called. Anyways, the point is, this is a cheaper version than what usually comes on the trucks, which are the, you know, the bigger metal bulky ones. Basically, this is just so it's easy to replace, because these things get ripped off by our trailers all the time. And I'm hoping, because I've actually driven one of the newer trucks already with a FedEx set, I'm hoping that they actually won't get ripped off at all, because our fifth wheel goes so far back on this truck that I can literally crawl under the truck through to the other side, which if you're a FedEx driver, you know that that's quite crazy. So, because it's usually like so close between your mud flap and the landing gear. Anyways, okay, last thing. These right here, which are really nice. So basically, this should be tilted. I probably can't tilt it, not right now. It's not greased yet, so it's not dirty, it's still new. These are little, I guess, little ramps. I like them. If anyone knows what the name of these things are, please put it down in the comments, because I don't know. I even looked at the build sheet before coming to do this, and it's between two things that I saw on the build sheet, and I'm not sure what they are right now, but I'm sure BKM will put them down below. What it could possibly be, you guys pick which one you think it is. Anyway, so it's really nice, so that way you don't just jam into the fifth wheel. Usually this will be tilted down, so it'll just go right up on, if it's too low. But most of the time, a lot of drivers are good about their height of their trailer, so they don't need this. Okay, moving to the other side. I guess this is kind of the second to last thing. The chain rack here. I can't open it because it's actually sealed closed right now. But basically what you do is you lift this up, and then there's some hooks down below where you hook on your chains, and when I do another video to show you the finished truck after I finish putting everything in it, we'll be able to see that better. Oh. Okay, finally. This little bugger right here is the part of the side guard assist. Actually, it is the side guard assist portion of the truck, and I'll explain what that means later. And let's go inside now because I'm freezing. Okay, so that thing outside that I just showed you guys, hold on, my fingers, I still can't feel them. The black thing on the side of the passenger side door, the side guard assist, that is part of a new program or a new safety system that Detroit has made called the Detroit 5.0 Safety Suite. And it's got a couple of cool things on it, and it's gonna take me a while to kind of remember them all, but that is one of them, and it's called the side guard assist. So basically what happens is when there is a car next to you, or a truck next to you, or even a pedestrian walking next to you, a bicyclist, anything at all that is within a certain range of your truck, there's some cool videos out there, so you should check them out and see more about it. But it basically lets you know if somebody's in your blind spot. And this is pretty cool because it's going to help warn drivers so those accidents don't happen. So you know the saying that the driver's side is passing side and the right side is suicide? well, hopefully we can avoid the suicide. The next thing I want to talk about has already been on the Freightliner Cascadias in the past, and that is the lane departure warning. And there's actually a button for it on the dash, which we all know if you have that, you know where the button is because you like to turn it off. So if you press the button, the light illuminates and it shuts off for 15 minutes. But basically what the system does is while you're driving, if you drive close to or outside the lines, when you start to go in a direction where you're going to cross the line, there is a fake rumble strip sound that comes from the side of the truck of whichever side you're going to cross the line. And so it can be kind of irritating in construction zones, so that's where a lot of us have gotten that kind of memory of pushing that button off all the time. And the cool evolution to this has been the lane keep assist. And the lane keep assist also has a button for it to kind of turn it off. But hear me out. This lane keep assist is the coolest thing that has been on a truck ever. This is basically the first truck that can drive itself. So what I mean by that is, as you're driving down the road, you can set the cruise control on the interstate and you can just hold the steering wheel and the steering wheel will adjust for you to keep you going straight in the lane down the line. So you just need to hold on to the steering wheel and it does all the work for you. So in high wind and basically long stretches of road, it makes it really, really nice. And the weird thing about this system that it's done to the trucks now is I kind of, and this is just my opinion, I feel like in the older trucks, so anything that doesn't have this lane keep assist on it, has a bit of weight to the steering wheel where you can feel if you're turning the steers. You can feel like the friction on the ground. And same thing with the wind. It's like everybody knows like how tired you can get from holding your truck straight in heavy wind. And what the lane keep assist has done, or what the technology for the lane keep assist has enabled this truck to do, is you could turn the steering wheel with one finger. It's like having 100% power steering instead of like 80% power steering, if that makes sense. When I first got in this truck and I drove it from the dealership to the yard here, I was freaking out because I thought the steering wheel wasn't connected to the truck. And that was the weirdest thing I had ever had happen ever. And it takes a lot of getting used to, but it's actually really cool technology and it's going to make our job easier in the long run. Some other cool things on this truck that I haven't seen on any truck on the market as far as like heavy duty trucks go is that this truck has automatic lights, which is new for a truck. I mean, I've never had a truck that automatically turns on its lights just like a car does, but there is something a little bit cooler about their auto lights. So if you have it on auto and you have your lights on, there is a portion of the system that allows for automatic high beams. So I'm sure maybe some of you have heard about the automatic high beams that are coming out on some of the pickup trucks out there on the market, but this is really, really cool for semi trucks. So basically, just if it sees another set of lights, tail lights or headlights, it will turn off the high beams for you and turn them back on when it no longer sees those other people. And the other thing is automatic wipers, which is just so cool to have on a truck, and I'm being really weird right now. I'm just really excited about it. But automatic wipers on a truck, and that's just, it's crazy. I've never had that on a truck before. And there's also, one of the cameras will show you speed limit signs now on the display in the dash. So if it sees a speed limit sign And I've checked this before. It'll actually read the truck speed limit signs. You know how sometimes there's two signs? There's the car, the regular speed limit, and then the truck speed limit. It shows you the truck speed limit, so that's pretty cool. And then the one other thing is the adaptive cruise control can now go all the way down to 0 miles an hour. So basically, if you're in stop and go traffic, you can set that cruise control and this thing will just go for you. As long as it's not stopped for longer than, I don't remember what the exact number was, but it was a couple of seconds or a minute or something like that. Somebody's gonna have to fact check me on that, but if you stop for a certain amount of time, it'll shut it off, but you can re-engage it by just pressing the pedal. So that's really cool. And those are just new technology features that are in the 2021 Freightliner Cascadia, but all this other stuff is also pretty cool because it's stuff that I've done to this specific Cascadia for my drivers to help make their lives a little bit easier. So, as I've mentioned before in my previous video, I talked about having a top bunk. So of course all of my trucks come with this top bunk. I am also putting down a very, very nice mattress. And believe me, it's really nice. I actually got to spend a week in one of my trucks with another driver, and he and I both agreed that these are like the most amazing mattresses ever, and I'm so excited to show them to you, but that's coming later. So, if you guys have never seen before, under the bed is actually storage, and on this truck I had side boxes access on both sides. So there's actually two compartments, one on this side, and then of course one in the middle. So on this side, you can see that I got a side door on the cab, which is kind of hard to get to because this thing. It's pretty neat. So I like thinking that if they're at a hub or something like that and they have to wait for a couple of hours, at least they could get some fresh air if they wanted to and sit in their bunk and watch TV or read a book or whatever. Quality of life. Next is of course the fact that I got the platform instead of the fridge that usually that you can get with the Freightliner Cascadias. It's not a usual thing. It's just an option. You can do either or. You can get the fridge that comes with it, or you can supply your own fridge. And now that I'm thinking about it, and I remember, the coolest thing on my truck is the fact that we have outlets. So, if you can see behind here in the microwave section, there's actually an outlet here. Not only is there an outlet there, but there's also an outlet for the fridge, and there's an outlet on the bottom of the bunk right here. So, you don't have to plug things into cigarette lighters anymore. You could just plug them into the truck. But this truck, it runs on shore power. But I have a fix for that, for how the drivers can use it while they're on the truck, and I'll have to show you that later, and I'm really excited to show you. But for now, this is how I had them built for this specific reason, so people could use things and not have cords running everywhere, and it would just be easier. It's quality of life on the road, and I'm hoping that all the little bits that are all the details that I'm thinking about are going to make their lives a lot easier. And then of course, general storage for everybody. It's just, I'm sure you guys remember what the Cascadia looks like on the inside. It's all pretty much the same for a double bunk. You just have this storage up front, and then if you weren't to have this bunk, you would actually have some more storage along the back, and it kind of looks similar to the front if you were not to have the bunk. But we need the bunk because there's going to be a team in here. I told you guys about the side guard assist earlier, and there's actually a little illuminator right here, and I forgot to talk about it. But basically what it does is if somebody walks by on the side, this light right here illuminates, and it turns yellow when there's something beside you. If you have your blinker on, it'll turn red if something's beside you to warn you not to go over towards your blind spot. So it's really helpful. For these trucks, I got basically all the bells and whistles on it. Don't pay attention to this. This is just for mounting reasons. I like to actually, I was gonna have somebody else do this, but now I'm actually attaching them myself, and I'll show you the whole process in another video. I got basically everywhere there could possibly be a hole or a gauge or a button, there's a hole, a gauge, or a button. So, extra gauges, these don't come standard, of course, you have to get them with it, but they're just helpful as far as like if somebody was training in this truck. This has not only a brake application gauge, so when somebody's pushing the service brake, it helps them kind of with brake checking and knowing how much pressure they're putting on the brake. And if you guys know anything about doing a brake check, that's helpful with a student. The other thing that we have on it is actually a brake application gauge for the trailer as well. So our trailer brake here has its own application gauge, and we have, I think this one is the, yeah, okay, so this one is the fifth wheel air. So this tells you about how many pounds of air are in the fifth wheel back there holding up the trailer. And what's cool about this one helps you when you actually press the air dump right here. So we air dump when we drop trailers to kind of save the landing gear. It's kind of nice for the trailers. So say that's why you only roll them to the point where you feel just a little bit of tension and you put it away, because then you dump your air, the trailer sets down on the landing gear and you can pull out from under it really softly instead of just dropping the trailer and hearing it slam down on the ground, because it's can't be good for the landing gear. Anyways, so we like to gently drop our trailers and appreciate the equipment that we have. Of course, an air slide that comes with every truck with a sliding fifth wheel to move the fifth wheel, but we're not going to because we don't need to. It always needs to be to the rear for the FedEx spec truck. This truck also comes with a kingpin release, and so the way that this button works, which I'm kind of like half and half on this button. I like the button and I don't like the button. If it was up to me, I might not get the button again, but we'll see. I've had them before on 2 previous trucks that I've driven, and one truck it wasn't a problem, the other truck it was a problem. So we will see if this becomes a problem in the future, and I will let you guys know, because this is a learning process for, I guess, all of us. The way this button works is you hold it for 3 seconds, and so that way if you accidentally hit it, it's not going to release your trailer from you. You hold it for 3 seconds and then it releases, and it shows you a bunch of prompts on the display screen up there, so that's pretty cool. And then we have our interaxle lock and the differential lock. So you don't, well, interaxle, differential, they're both differentials. Anyways, these buttons, very sensitive. I'm not sure if I will get this one on a future truck, because if it's used incorrectly, it can really damage the truck. And then the differential, or the interaxle lock, is actually really, really helpful when it comes to slippery conditions and snow. Anyways, I will go over what these buttons do in a future video. If you want to know more, just like leave a comment down below. If somebody does want to like help out the community, just leave a question down below. I'm sure it'll get answered. Most of these buttons come standard on the Cascadia, so I'm just going to go over some of the ones that I think are important. Light test, it's actually an option, and I think it's a really important option because it allows you to run around your truck and it flashes all the lights for you. You no longer need somebody to sit there and turn on your blinker for you or hit the brakes for you. Anyways, it's really helpful. And then I actually have 2 option switches here, which I have plans to use in the future, and you'll see why, and I hope you will stick around for that. Then just these are all blanks, and okay, so there's 2 switches on this side that I really wanted to talk about just to kind of hit. The lane departure warning off switch is over here, and then the lane keep assist warning. The lane keep assist, where it actually drives the truck for you, the off button is over here as well. that's pretty much it as far as like buttons and things go. There's a lot of things in the dash cluster. You can watch a bunch of videos on that. It's all pretty much the same. This is just a really cool truck on its own with all the new technology on it. And the cool thing is you can turn most of the technology off, so you can drive without it or you can drive with it, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But the one thing that I like most about it is this new technology is not only keeping the driver who's driving safe. This system is basically helping keep everyone safe. And that's important to me, because I want the driver in the back to get quality night's sleep so that way they can get up here and they can drive and make their money during the day, because we all know how hard it is to sit here and drive when we're tired. And it affects not only our mental well-being, but it also affects the money we can earn. And I just wanted to give my drivers the best that I could possibly give them. And so going forward, I can't wait to show you all the changes that I'm going to make to this truck now that I have it. I've actually already done one so far, so I'm actually going to show you the complete process. I'm going to be putting in, you know, the refrigerator and the microwave, which isn't really that big of a deal. I'm going to show you the bed that I bought for the truck, and I'm going to show you how to install the inverter for this truck. And I got really nice inverters. I got 3,000 watt inverters, and basically I'm just hoping that nobody can manage to blow a fuse, because it's 3,000 watts. I'm hoping that they don't blow it, because that used to be a big problem that I heard about, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that they have significant amount of power and that they happen to not blow a fuse while they're out on the road, because then they're out of a microwave and a refrigerator, and I don't want my guys or my drivers eating out of truck stop. I do have girl drivers. I just generally say guys. Anyways, I guess that's it for this video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the tour of the 2021 Freightliner Cascadia, because I feel like nobody has touched on these things that are really cool about it. The new safety system and the fact that this truck can frickin' drive itself. That is so cool, okay? It's so cool. And it is definitely the start to something just, it's gonna be mind-blowing in the future. And I'm excited for it. And no, I don't think we're gonna lose our jobs. I just think our jobs might change a little bit and might get a little bit easier. So that's all for, I guess, this video, guys, and I can't wait to see you in the next one, and I hope you all remember to be safe out there on the road. And remember, if you're interested in this company at all, the information is down below. Don't send me a message. Look at the information down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Two compartments, one on this side, and then of course one in the middle, which is 3. I just meant 2 compartments that are on the side. Oh, well, there's a lot of crap under there. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe you just talk over that, because I stored all the crap under there. Oh boy.